Good evening, race fans. I'm Pirate here, Black Flag Racing TV. It's Monday, which means only one thing. It's GR4 lottery time. And this is one of my favourite things of the week. I absolutely love this one. Anyone that doesn't know, anyone who hasn't seen it before, it was quite simple. At the very start, we stuck 15 cars on a lottery wheel. 15 people said they wanted them. We rolled that wheel and we allocated cars. That was the car they got for the season. Because there were one or two duds in there and there were still 15 great cars available, at round 5 we gave a few opportunities to get rid of the cars and they rolled new ones. So we've got a couple of people who have changed their cars at round 5. Obviously anyone new that came in rolled a brand new car, so you will never see two drivers in the same car for the entire 10 race series, and we are already at round 8. And round 8 takes us to Tokyo Expressway, the east course, and this is the counter-clockwise connotation. So slightly different. It's not quite a reverse of east clockwise because it's essentially the other side of the road. So it's very similar to the east course for the most part, apart from really the straight is the only real different bit of this course. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be a good one to start. We've got a couple of new guys joining us for their first races with Black Flag. Really looking forward to that. Before we go into this, they are qualifying at the moment, but we've got plenty of time to have a look at that. I just want to talk about what's going on at the weekend. We are, as Black Flag, we are raising money for the charity Mind, and it's specifically, I can't even say that word, for the 1 in 15 people who attempt to take their life throughout their lifetime, and finding a way of helping Mind to reduce that number. We've got a series of races, 3-hour endurance races, 5 of them, starting this Saturday at Le Mans, and it will emulate a 24-hour race. If you want to get involved, there are still a couple of spaces for this weekend. Good evening, Jason. Good to see you. Jason, who's just jumped in the chat, will be our host for the festivities. But there is a couple of spaces left for Le Mans this week. If you want to get involved, it's the GR1 cars at Le Mans on Saturday. You can get involved in 3 ways. You can race. You can get involved in the racing. You can come and join us on YouTube and watch the entire 3-hour series unfold in front of your eyes, or if you're feeling a little bit flush, you can chuck some money our way. But I'd like to play the little video for you now, and then we'll get on with the qualifying and see where everyone's at.
Mental health problems affect 1 in 4 of us. Join Mind now in the fight for mental health.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that, Jason. I do need to take that out of the video, actually. Yes, so it does say we've got a super performer in the class. That has been changed after looking at the settings for it to a GR1 class instead, which makes more sense for the 24-hour.
A donation of £20 could help 167 people take their first steps in getting mental health support through Mind's booklets.
Thanks for watching. Anyone that has, of course. You've plenty of time to get involved still. We've still got the rest of this week. So, standings, where are we at before we jump into the room? We are at this stage right now where we've just finished round 7. We're moving on to round 8, 3 rounds left. The leader, the runaway leader, not any surprise really, is Kevin in the Porsche Cayman. Not a great week from the first week, but it's all got better since then. He is well ahead, 512 points. But the race for the top 3 is still very open. Avalon took second place last week in the Alpha. You can see he's grown into that car over the last few weeks. Really starting to get good performance out of that. 389 points for him. Aussie in the Huracan started out strongly, had a little dip, then got strong again. He's finding the balance in that car. Different tracks are suiting him in different ways, but he's doing really well there. He's currently sitting in third, 346 points for him. TJ in the Megane, solid performances. It's only the fact that he missed race number 4 that's kept him out of the running so far with 336. Stormfly in the Dodge Viper. He did switch out his car. He had the Genesis. No, he didn't. He had the Genesis, Hyundai Genesis, which was a little bit rubbish early doors, and he currently sits in 5th on 329. Missed last week as well, but he is now in that Dodge Viper. Wiggy sitting in 6th with the Suzuki Swift. He had the Atenza, really didn't like that car, swapped it out for the Swift, and actually prefers the Swift, despite the fact it looks like a toy car. But I have a feeling that he's not going to be. I think today. Very nimble, and once this car gets to top speed, which most of this track is, I think he might do all right, particularly with some slipstream. He's currently running 6th. He's got 270 points. He's still an outside bet for that top 3. So that is where we currently sit in terms of everybody's performance. But I think the thing we do now is we get out on the track and have a look and see who's there and introduce our new drivers. So where are we at? Let's have a look. Display all. So, racing today, we've got 11 in the lobby today. I like it when the lobbies get bigger. Much better racing. So, there is Fubar and his WRX. He discovered today that he's been using, he hasn't been using a racing transmission. So I expect to see some better pace from him today. G-Mac in the BMW. He didn't take the choice to swap it out at the window. But not getting the kind of performance we're used to seeing from G-Mac out of that car. Well, unless you count the fact that he likes to pit a lot. There is the first of our new drivers. He rolled this car today. This is the Citroen, isn't it? The Citroen GT, which is a very space-age looking car. That is Manx Man. We're just going to call him Manx. He joins us from the team who should not be named. And this will be his first race, so good luck to him tonight in that race. Of course, there's Avalon in the Alpha 155, currently sitting second in that championship and looking to consolidate that today in this Alpha. It's not going to have the super duper straight line speed of some of the other cars, but we know how all-round great this Alpha is. TJ in the Renault Megane, and I love the fact he changes his livery for every single race, doesn't stick with the same one. But he is there or thereabouts as well. There's Wiggy in the Little Tykes and decorated aptly, but I don't think he's going to be too far down the order today when it comes to it. Another due driver for us today, there is Bandit. He rolled the Volkswagen Scirocco. It looks more like a Golf than a Scirocco, but that's his car for these last 3 races. Bandit joins us from the Virtual Races Club, who we have an awesome little TBT going on with at the moment on Wednesday evenings. The final sprint race actually on Wednesday coming. Stormfly, of course, in his Viper. Let's see what sort of time he can chuck out. the qualifying has got a couple of minutes left, so we'll see the first race start. It's 3 races this evening, and the final race being obviously the reverse grid kind of scenario that we have. And there's Kevin, of course, in the Porsche Cayman, currently the fastest lap at 1:57.4, which is a super quick lap. And not to forget, of course, Grid Troopers in the Ferrari 458. So let's go on board with someone and have a look around the track, because I didn't do a track ride. Maybe it's going to be honest. Let's find someone who is. So Stormfly. So you basically so he would bail out, wouldn't he? Our room settings changed because now it is time. So he's reset. It's going to be a hot lap qualifying, as I suspected, because that's what it should be. It's just a single out lap, single hot lap, and then we crack on with it. So here we go. This will be a lap around. We'll go on board with Kevin, shall we? So, as with the clockwise connotation, your first foray is on the straight. Much shorter though on the counterclockwise version. You head up towards the first turn. Instead of this being the last turn, this is the first turn. A very big 180. It's the slowest part of this racetrack. Then you've got the little kink. This would normally head straight down, but because we're on the other side of the road, it heads up the hill here, and then you've got a big right-hander coming up, and a biggish right-hander. And this takes you on to the part of the course you will recognise from the clockwise version. Then you are on that power onto the main racetrack, and here we go. You've got a little lift to go around there. You've got to have a little lift coming around this next left-hander. That's all it is. Just keeping away from the walls. This is going to be key to a good lap. Is keeping off the walls. You do have to literally put a little bit of brake in here, and it's mainly to get this turn better. You want to avoid obviously catching wall by the bridge, and bearing round to the left and to the right here, both flat out. And then you've got braking zone right here. Very small one though. Although he overshoots that bit and does clip the wall. Light damage is on, so you will notice that. And then you are back on yourself and straight down. And it's full power from this point on. This is where slipstream is going to be king, absolute king. You want to make sure you don't have a penalty to serve, because serving it there is going to scrub your lap, because that's where the penalty line is, right at the beginning of this straight, just as you're getting up to speed. You should be pretty much, if you get it right for your 700 pp, you should be, as you're getting towards the end of the straight, maxing out in 6th gear. As you can see there, he's hitting, coming out of the tunnel, 184, 185, and that is where he's kind of maxed out the car. He's not over revving it, he's keeping it below that maximum revs, and then again changing down. That is a lap. There we go. So we've got 11 runners. Be interesting to see who. I don't think anyone can look past Kevin for pole. I think no one can look past Kevin for the championship now. He's over 100 points clear of anybody else, which is essentially 2 weeks worth of winning every race bar one. That's how far ahead he is. But because there's such a battle going on for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th at the moment, I think we're going to see some excitement behind. And we're going to have to find out, to be fair, I say we're going to have to find a way. We have found a way to balance out Kevin's crazy ability. And we will have a new tournament starting in the new year, once we're done with Mind and all the other bits and pieces, for a sort of handicap race, which involves ballast, different tyres and PP restrictions and that kind of thing. But we'll have more details later on about that shizzle. So we'll see Kevin come round. He will complete another lap, and he will give us the representative time that everyone else needs to beat. The beauty of hot lap is it only takes one cock up, to change the complexion of this race. Now, 2 laps is about half a tank of fuel, so you're going to see the pit window opening around lap 4. The tyres should hold out, the soft tyres should hold out for those 4 laps. You can use whatever tyres you like, but he sets a 157.6. G-Mac will be next across the line. He gives us a 159.6. Aussie Rooster, here he comes with his hot lap. And that's a 201.6, that's well off the pace. And about TJ, what's he got for us? Anyone else going sub 2 minutes? A 2 minute point 5. That's an Avalon Shadow. 202 is a bad lap from him. Wiggy with a 203.1. Grizz Troopers, he will cross the line. What's he got for us? He's got Manx in behind him, and Manx looked pretty quick in practice, to be fair. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Manx and Bandit can bring to the table. Because at the moment we've got our elite drivers, we've got our midfield drivers, we've got a couple of rear enders. So there is Grizz Troopers across the line, does a 211. Manx with a 204. Fubar, what did Fubar do? Just disappeared off the screen before I could catch it. Bandit, what's Bandit done? Here comes Bandit. He's setting the time now. He did have a great first lap, to be fair. In that Scirocco, he crossed the line with a 210.1. So quite a good splattering across the board in terms of times. Stormfly, I think, is the last one to set a time.